Hi guys, Bobby and Vinny here from Peak Performance Academy, and today is Coach's Corner. We're going to talk about a question that we just got from a client actually a couple of minutes ago, was does it get any easier? Now we can look at that and from the aspect of your nutrition adherence to your lifestyle, to your habits and through training. And I think the general question came more so on the training side. So does the training get any easier as you progress?
I suppose it's like not the first time we've got the question either, like, because even through PT sessions, I'd say 2 or 3 times a day, you definitely get the same question saying, like, does it ever get any easier? And you kind of take a step back from the client and realise, like, that they're training harder. It might be 6 or 12 weeks into training and they're either pushing more weight, they're getting a lot fitter, but like their effort goes up. Like you would say with the training and stuff like that, the fitter you get, the recovery does get way easier, because you're, like you said, bringing in your nutrition into it. All these things are in place, and that's going to become a lot easier. But the fitter you get and the stronger you get, the more effort you're going to put out in the gym anyway. So it's always going to be tough in the gym when you're pushing yourself, but the recovery side of things does get easier.
I think the whole thing about does it get easier is an emotion as well that you're going to feel at the very, very start, because everything is going to be very new. Or if you're pushing yourself and you've been training maybe a while, or you say now, we'll take an example of somebody that just started. Everything is new, everything is going to be difficult, you're going to be sore, you're going to be stiff, you're going to be tired, you're not used to going to the gym. Your nutrition adherence is going to be something you have to get used to, a few lifestyle changes. So at the start everything is going to be hard. As you progress and you build your skill level in all them areas, you're going to find that it will get a little easier, but then as you get results, you're going to be motivated, and when motivation will drive action, and action will drive success. So you keep that circle going, and then you're going to see that you're going to start to push yourself a little bit more. The one thing it will get easier though is your skill level is better, your adherence, your nutrition over time will get better, and then your lifestyle will start to change. So in all aspects it is going to get a little bit easier, but you are still going to have that emotion on days where you feel that you don't want to train, or you just feel, I'm just really tired today, I just feel it's a very hard workout coming up. You might have a certain thing in block in your workout where you think, today it's going to be a tough day, but again, that's a perception as well, and you have to kind of work around that and be disciplined to actually say, no, I'm going to come in and I'm going to give them my best shot. You're going to feel 10 times better after it, and then that emotion is gone and you're feeling better again. Now that could come back around the following week, but it's just you building your skills, getting more adherent and being consistent with what you're trying to do, and then it will get a little bit easier. There's no doubt about it. I mean, every one of us go into the gym and we're not jumping out of ourselves to try to work out each day. It is always a little mental battle where you say, okay, I have to go to the gym, or I have to go work out, or go do something, or I have to stay within my nutrition guidelines, and every one of us battle with that, but it's just how you deal with it. But it does get easier over time 100%, because you get better.
And don't get it wrong either, walking into a gym that you think, like, something's going to be specific towards you and nutrition is going to be tailored exactly for you. Don't expect it to be a walk in the park either to start. Like, if you want to achieve body or health or anything that you've never had before, it's going to be, there are going to be some challenges, and it's going to be tough at times. So just kind of have that mindset as well, that you are going to face some difficulties. Some training sessions are going to be harder than others. You're not going to lift the same weight every day. Some days you're going to feel good coming into the gym, like what I was saying. Some days it's not going to be there, and those days are okay too. Like, you're still you're still training. Just because you don't hit numbers for that day or hit a certain weight that you pushed last week doesn't mean it's a bad session. Like, it's better than the session that you're not coming in to do either. But if it's a thing, like, I know we work in a gym, but if it's something that you genuinely hate and stress coming into a gym doing weights, maybe you could look at something else, like there's other things that get you fit. Like, take a step back, like what activity do you enjoy doing? It could be a bit of swimming, like martial arts, and then bring in conditioning and weights that help you in that kind of sport. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just come in and do weights just for the sake of doing weights. Find what you enjoy doing, and that's going to make it easier as well. Like, if you hate it every single day you come in, it's not going to last long term.
And the one thing as well is the question that came from this client. This client has been with us for years. I would have trained this client for years and years and years previously, before Peak Performance as well, the gym opened. So we have to look at it from her point of view. She's training a long time, but you have to look at the factors in the person's life at that particular time, and certain things that's happening. So you are going to go through that ebbs and flows of emotions, and at times it's going to feel difficult, at times it's going to feel good and you're going to feel motivated. So it's just that kind of, think of it as a graph, and it's not linear. It's going to have that little undulating pattern all the time. So we have to, it's just how you deal with it. And like you were saying, Vinny, sometimes people, if they're stressing too much about something, is that suitable for you? So you look at it that way. So if you're really stressed, so you hate, like I was actually made an observation yesterday, I was coming back from lunch and I seen somebody running. And the first impression I thought in my head was, that person does not enjoy what they're doing there. No, that person was a little bit more on carrying a little bit of weight. Me personally as a coach, the first thing is our coach's head came in and said that person is too overweight to be running on their joints at this particular moment. And it looked to me that person wasn't enjoying what they're doing. So I can imagine their motivation when they tried to come from wherever they came from to start their run wasn't probably high, and then they seemed to be struggling when I seen them. So that's a perfect example, like you were saying, where somebody might have to change the variable there. That person could be simply taken in. They could say, oh, is it ever going to get easier? But what they chose to do was just not right for them. They might be better suited to maybe doing a bit of low-level aerobic work that's less stressful on their joints at the start, get the nutrition right, and then bring their body weight down, and then go back to the running and be motivated from that.
Like, it's all going to be contextual to every person's life. So like someone who's 19 or 20 years of age in college or just out of school, have loads of free time, no bills to be paying, it's going to be a lot easier for them to come to the gym 5 or 6 days a week and just focus on it, compared to a man or a woman who is working a full-time job, has kids, has bills and mortgages to pay. That's going to be a lot harder. So like what they might do for training might be slightly different. They might come 2 or 3 times a week, but that's still okay. Like, you can still go towards your goals, getting in those 2 or 3 times, just making sure you're enjoying it and you are actually pushing yourself when you're in there, that you're not just coming into the gym and fooling yourself saying, oh, I went to the gym. Like, you know, you actually, if you come in the door, push yourself on that bit, try and do that extra bit each day, and you will see the results then.
So guys, just to summarise this video, does it get easier? Yes, it does, to a point. You'll always have that emotion that you'll feel it's a struggle some days, but it does get easier because you get more consistent, your skill level builds, you get more adherent, and remember, motivation is driven by success and actions, and you have to look at it. When you get a little bit of a success, you lose a little bit of weight, whoever your goal is, you get a bit fitter, that's going to drive you on. But there is, of course, going to be days as you're going to feel, is it going to get any easier? But it will get easier. But again, you're going to push yourself and you're going to train harder, and you're obviously going to have setting the standard higher each time as well. So you can be your own worst enemy at times with setting goals, but that's a good thing. So guys, if you'd like to hear, you'll find us on peakperformancekillarney.com. You'll find us on all our social media pages, also our YouTube channel, Peak Performance Killarney, and our podcast, Reach Your Peak podcast. If any clients or any person watching this has a question, please just direct message us on the video, and we will answer your question. No problem.
Talk to you later.